Hey guys, so today we're going to talk a little bit about new people joining the company and a bit of the thing, a few things that I think that seems to, well, maybe not always, but it's something that feels fairly common, and that is new people pointing out limitations in the code. So let's get into it. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in order for this to make any sense, we have to give you a little bit of context. So few new people have started working, some really awesome people at my company, and I'm one of the people who we are assigned each person working at the company is assigned one of the new guys and girls as well, who's starting at the company. And so we kind of act as their buddy or like their mentor, if you will, to kind of onboard them and make sure that they get up to speed on everything. And the thing that happens now is it's a very good opportunity for self-reflection for me, because the people that I work with have started doing that magical thing that I used to do as well when I started a few years back. And that magical thing is that they are introduced to the code and they start to question the decisions that have been made on the project. Some will ask, oh, why is this so slow? Why is that written in that way? It should be written in that way, and so forth and so forth. And you sit there as somebody who's been working with this code base for quite a while now, and you kind of just listen and you let them go, and they point out, oh, this is a limitation, that's ugly, we should do that instead. And some people are very, very dramatic, and some people are less dramatic, but they all point out these flaws. Now, depending on who you are as an individual, this will be a big stressor for you, like you will feel attacked, and that's where a bit of personal maturity comes into it, where you have to just take a step back here and emotionally detach you from detach yourself a little bit, and just let them kind of go, because of one thing, which is very interesting, because I was talking to one of my coworkers about this. He was saying, oh, I'm pointing out all these issues, I hope you're okay with it. And I said, that's exactly what I want you to do. You see, the thing about working for a project or any amount of time is that you get comfortable over time. And that happens to every single human being, regardless of area. At some point, you will get comfortable. And what I mean by comfortable is that these issues and errors, for whatever reason, you may have spotted them yourself, and you may even have tried to fix them, but for some reason it wasn't the right time, or you didn't have the opportunity to really fix it the way that you wanted, because of everything from deadlines to scope focus, and just maybe a plain no from your project owners or stakeholders. And what's interesting and what's very useful when you have new people starting is that they will come in with a fresh pair of eyes, and they will point out these flaws, which you may or may not have been aware of. Most likely you are aware of it. Sometimes you're not, but they will point these things out because, hey, they haven't been working there for, a long time, so they haven't gotten to the point where they're kind of comfortable with how things work, even if they are not working perfectly. It's still working. That situation where you just get a little bit complacent, if you will. Now, although this is interesting, on the flip side of things, the new candidates now have to face a fundamental problem, and I've gone through this myself. And that is that you get into your head that, hey, and this is especially true for somebody who is a little bit more junior, where you want to fix all the things because you feel that you want to prove yourself to the people at the company. You want to prove your value, you want to improve things because, hey, you've been drilled since day one when you started programming with good practices, and this is best practice, and you should do this and that and that. And Uncle Bob is somewhere in the background saying something about how to do solid principles, and Kent Beck is over there talking about TDD, and you have all this stuff, right? And what's so interesting about this is that this is the same mental mistake that most people make when they estimate the complexity of a story or of a work task. And for me, the thing that always happened, and it happens even today, and that's why I'm scared to say it. I think I'm I might be becoming one of those elderly bitter programmers who simply, you know, get stuff done and doesn't really bother so much with the philosophical discussions about how to do things and so forth. I kind of just try to get shit done instead. And that's what they're going to experience now, because a lot of the issues that they have highlighted, I have been aware of them. It's kind of, you know, they point them out and I say, yeah, that's absolutely true. Open it up to the community and go talk to the other developers, and then maybe you'll get some allocated time to fix it. And I do that to be nice to them, because I know that they won't get it. I know that they will not be, they kind of like, it's almost like a kid. You teaching them how to not to play with fire, because they won't understand it if you just tell them no. You just have to let them try it and see what happens. I mean, in my scenario, it would be great if they could fix it, but I know that it's very unfeasible that they will fix all of these issues, because frankly, the company has different priorities, and the area of the problems, of that they have identified are these magical problems that I've told you before about. When a piece of legacy grows to a certain size, it's simply too much work to fix it in a quote-unquote nice way or a best practices way. And that's why you have to simply live with it or mitigate the problem until such a point that it either becomes redundant, or you, for some magical reason, get a really good reason to refactor this thing. And that's exactly where we are today. So to me, it's a two-way street when it comes to having new people start. I think it's important to allow people to really, you know, kind of get their bearings and point out these issues, because it helps the company. Because some of the things that have been identified by our new hires are actually things that we can fix, and things we should fix, and things we are fixing right now. And these fresh pair of eyes are very useful. And you should really try to grab that opportunity when people are fresh at the project, because they will get to be complacent as well. It's just a matter of time until they are adjusted and used to the issues as everybody else. And on the flip side, as a new hire, you have to accept that although you may find that there's tons of issues, you have to be professional enough to know that, to understand that some things is feasible for you to fix, and some stuff is not so feasible for you to fix, because you can't fix all the problems, because that's simply not going to be practical. Have a great day.